Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the Outpost review. I'm working in the cabin. I'm putting flooring down. I had purchased 3/4 inch OSB tongue and groove, and it's going to allow me, once I get the floor down, to be able to go back and place all the angle iron at the joints and the upper beams, and then I can actually start framing the walls for the cabin. I'm not so sure, since my lumber is a little bit different than the store-bought and it's a little bit heavier. I don't know that I'm going to be able to frame the wall, laying it down and standing it up, especially here by myself. So I may end up having to stick frame it. But either way, my son is going to purchase me a battery operated nail gun. So I'm excited about that. That way I don't have to crank up the generator and leave it running, or run in and out and try to work around the generator running when I'm not using it. But so yeah, that's kind of exciting to be able to get to this point right here. So I'll show you what I've been doing. First of all, when you're putting your flooring down, you have to stagger the sheets because you don't want all the seams meeting in the same spot, just like when you're laying block or stone or anything like that. So I started off with a partial sheet. I had to run over to where I would meet one of the floor joists and have enough, to where, because it's 39 feet, so that doesn't come out 16 inches exactly on center. So I had to rip this one down here, but then I could go 8 feet at a time until I got down to the far end. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting in 5 screws in each one. Put one in the middle, 2 on each end, and then I split the difference and I'm putting 2 screws in there. Plus I'm gluing it down to the floor joists. This is what I'm using, which is liquid nails, but it's for subfloors, either interior or exterior, decking, construction adhesive. So this is carpenter grade or construction grade glue. So this is what's going down on top of the 2x10s underneath to glue it down. I actually purchased a case of it because I didn't quite know how much I was going to need, but what it looks like is I'm able to get about 4.5 out of a tube. So I may end up with a little bit more than I need because there's 12 in a case. But I can always use it on other projects that I have around here, or I can always take it back. But let me get one of the screws and I'll show you what I'm screwing the floor with. I'm using 2.5 inch wood screws to screw the floor down. I know that might be a little bit overkill, but I've got 1.5 inches right here of thread, and then the rest of the shank is smooth, and then I'm just counter setting that inside the plywood, probably about 1/8 of an inch deep. But between this and the glue, it should hold the floor down there really good. The other house that I had built, I actually used a nail gun and nailed it, but I thought on this building here I would use the screws, just hoping that over time, a lot of times walking back and forth on a floor, a nail may work loose a little bit and then you might end up having a squeak. So I thought, well, I'm going to use these screws hoping that that doesn't happen. Doesn't mean that it won't, but hoping that that doesn't happen. Just a little bit on the chilly side out here. Trying to warm my hands up before I go back in there after washing dishes. So hey guys, this is going to be the first month that we have a giveaway on our new channel, Outpost Review. And a lot of times we try to give back to the people that support our channel. We're thankful for all the subscribers and the views and the people that continue to follow us. But there's whether you're camping, whether you live on the farm, or suburb, or even in the city in the backyard, where you may have a fire pit or something like that. Just like this fire pit right here, I have to have the use of a good maul. We have decided to give away a good maul like this one. This is called a Trooper, all right, that it's got an 8-pound head on it, and it's got a fiberglass handle with a rubber coating around the bottom of it right here. And you know, you've seen me using this here at the Outpost, splitting wood, and it really comes in handy. You can split a lot of wood with an axe, with a good sharp axe, but there are some times when the wood gets big that it takes several blows. With the weight that a maul has, you don't necessarily have to swing as hard, and you can split wood a lot easier, especially the hardwood. Now, when you get into wood that's got a bunch of limbs, you know, where it's got knots and stuff like that, it's a little bit more difficult. But it's really nice to have a good maul in your toolbox to be able to split wood. Like I said, if you have an outdoor barbecue grill and you use wood, if you live on the farm, or if you live kind of out in the boonies like me out here, that comes in really handy. And you know, this is the beginning of the month of December for the giveaway for this channel. We couldn't think of anything better to give away than the maul, so that you would be able to split your wood up to either use in your fire pit, your back door grill, or just to split for the fireplace to keep warm. So we're hoping that some lucky person will appreciate this gift for the month of December here on the Outpost Review. So my first row that I started back here, I actually put the tongue, this is the groove side right here, I put the tongue to the back side. Well, actually what I did is I just took my saw blade and I ripped the tongue off so that I had a flat side, and I started back there. I wanted the tongue facing the direction that I was heading. That way I could work off of this plywood and set the new plywood up here with the tongue facing down, lean it over, because you want the back side right here to use right like this, like you've been watching me, to be able to pound this back and set it in position. If I had the tongue sticking out there, there's a possibility that I could just beat it or break it off. So that's the reason that I started it with the tongue facing that way, so that I could lay the 2x4 or 2x6, whatever I was using, right here, and be able to hammer that with the sledgehammer and push this back in place, because they don't fit just, you know, very easy. You have to actually coerce them into place. You know, I really apologize for the lighting in here. I thought that this clear plastic would make it where it would be easy to film, but actually it hasn't, because any kind of shiny backdrop like that creates a glare on the camera. I never thought about it, but I have to, when I'm editing video, I have to kind of adjust the color just to brighten it up where I don't look like a dark shadow, even standing in front of the camera. What I'm doing now is facing it more towards the ground where I don't get the glare off of that. But as you can see, I've got a couple of rows laid in here. I'm fixing to lay the next row, and it's going well. All of my floor joists are spot on. I didn't mess that up, and it's hasn't been hard at all to, like I was saying, the way that I laid it out, it's not hard at all to actually put that down, get it set, and put it in. I'm thankful that Jennifer was here yesterday to help me carry some of this over here, because trying to get this over here by myself, you know, it's doable. It's just a little difficult to try to scale these 2x10s to get this material over here. You know, if it was wasn't worried about the rain or anything and didn't have this plastic up, you know, I could have just walked around the house and just thrown it up there. But you know, having this roof on here to keep it out of the weather. And then this plastic right here, that was really a good forethought that I had, because not only does it knock the wind off of me, but it keeps it dry in here and keeps the moisture off of the insulation, and it will keep this dry right here. Unless we got a really hard blowing rain where it would come in from up top, but I don't think that that's going to happen. But we won't be far away from, once we get this down and the angle iron put on, from framing all of that up and being able to put our siding on. So anyway, yeah, it's going real good. I tell you what, this Metabo battery operated skill saw really makes a difference out here working. Like I was saying earlier, not having to turn the generator on and off. This battery right here, when I was putting these floor joists in, I could use it a full 2 days working there without having to charge the battery. Now the thing about the plywood is the battery you have it on longer because you're cutting much more lengthwise, but still I've been using it all day today, and it's still going strong. But it's really handy not have to go crank the generator up to cut something. But this battery right here is a 36-volt battery. It's got quite a bit of power, and it's built really well. The other thing is, has some comments, why don't I buy everything with one brand? Well, the reason we do that, we look at reviews, and not any particular one brand may not have the best saw or the best drill or the best impact drill or the best side grinder or whatever. So, it's not really a problem to charge the batteries. Now I will tell you this, that the cordless batteries like this right here and some of the others, the big batteries, they're quite expensive. But I've got 2 batteries for this one, and because this one had a better review than some of the others. I've got the DeWalt angle grinder and the DeWalt planer. Now, he got me the planer because I already had the 36 volt, and there was a possibility that I was going to be using it quite lengthy, but it actually didn't have the best review. So we try to go with the best review. The Milwaukee drill that I'm using, impact driver, it had better reviews on it than some of the other tools. Now, you can get really expensive stuff, but what I've got, it's not secondary, or it doesn't take a back seat to anything really. I've got really good tools. So I really like this Metabo skill saw. I really like my DeWalt tools. I really like the Milwaukee. So, that's one reason that I didn't buy all DeWalt or all Milwaukee, because one item may not be have a higher review than some of the other tools. So there's still other tools that we need to get. There's a possibility that the Metabo would have a higher rating on something else, and then I'll be able to swap those batteries out. I've got several DeWalt tools. I've got one Milwaukee tool. I think the nail gun that he's going to get me is also Milwaukee. So I'll have batteries I can swap out there. But that is the reason that you see different tools. And you know, it's okay to buy everything in one, you know, if you like that. But that's the reason you see me with different, because Patrick does look at the reviews and try to get me what is going at that time. So anyway, but yeah, if you've never had one of these, I can recommend it. It does a great job. Hey guys, I just had to say again, I really dig this Milwaukee drill. It's an M18 fuel. It's called a Milwaukee fuel if you want to check it out. But yeah, this thing has a lot of power, and the battery lasts a long time. Here, let me show you a little bit closer. Okay, right here is where you test the battery. See, I've used it all day, all those screws, and I've still got half the battery left. Then right here is where you adjust the power. See right there? Push that button. Well, there's increase. Alright. There's 1 and 2. That's what I've been using it on right there, because it seems to work the best. But yeah, and it's got a little loop right here that you can hang it on your belt. That's really nice. And then over here I keep my bit for other types of screws, hex head screws. So yeah, the Milwaukee M18 impact driver. Great tool. Well, it's starting to spit snow. It's November 30th, and this is the first sign of any snow. Of course, it's not going to amount to anything, but Farmer's Almanac did say that we would probably get a little above average this year from what we normally get. So I guess it was correct. Anyway guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut the video down here. Appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with me here on the Outpost review. Hope some of this information that I'm giving you is helpful in some way. You know, like our main channel, this is not a how-to channel, but I figured that I would share more with you about what I was doing and how I was doing it, you know, in case nobody's ever done anything like that. You know, I've got a few tips and a few tricks that I could probably share with somebody. But if you want a full tutorial, YouTube is full of good videos on how to. I would suggest that you look that up. But I hope everyone has a great afternoon. I appreciate you tuning in, and look forward to seeing you back up here at the Outpost again next time. Everyone take care.